listen to the Lapped Traffic Podcast.
What is up, Lap Traffic Nation? Welcome to episode 277 of the Lap Traffic Podcast. I'm your host, the Professor, Brandon Crowd. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. It was picture perfect up here in Metro Detroit. It was mid-70s, sunny both days. It started raining late Sunday night, last night, and it's back down into the 50s today on Monday. So, that's what happens in Michigan. And if it's going to happen, that's how you want it to happen. You want it to be nice on the weekend and not, I don't care what it does, Monday to Thursday. But, man, I'll take that. I think we're starting to hit that turning point. It's supposed to be 50s, 60s this week, and then it looks like next week is all solid 60s. We will confirm that later on in the show with Aaron Studwell, but we'll get to all that in a little bit. Right now, though, 8 winners through 10 races. Didn't add one. Lots to talk about. Lots to unwrap there with Ross Chastain. 2 wins through 10 races. I'm just flabbergasted by that. I think it's freaking awesome. And like I said, we'll get into that in a little bit more. Let's see what else this weekend. Hung out Saturday or Friday. Friday was pretty low key. Didn't do too much. Saturday helped my buddy Zaylen move a few things. Got in 9 holes of golf. Had to get out there. The golf league is starting up here in 2 weeks, so I had to get out, swing the clubs once here before that all gets going. Had some friends over Saturday night. Sunday did some yard work. Took Alden for a walk, chilled on the patio, couple beverages, refired up the grill. Still waiting to get my Blackstone. Like I was literally ready to go and finally pull the plug and go get it. And Lowe's does not have the one I want. The main website doesn't have it. So I've quickly learned that if you sell the Blackstone products, you get different products. And they're not universal, so I can't go to another place and try to get it. So this product is apparently unique to Lowe's, and they're all out and all that. So, and I really wanted it, so I don't want to settle. So I'm going to wait and see if maybe they get a little bit more in stock here as the summer gets going. But yeah, so that's where we're at there. Hope you guys enjoyed last week's stacked show with William Byron, Chase Purdy, and Austin Wayne Self. Last week's show was a lot of fun to record, so go check that out if you haven't already. Great time there. Tonight's show is going to be just as fun because Lapped Traffic favorite Jeff Striegle is going to be on the show here in just a few minutes. Tonight's show might look a little different just because Jeff and I will cover everything, so there won't be the need for me to break down the series and all that kind of stuff like I typically do. Jeff and I will have you covered there. Social media shout-outs. Aaron Studwell's got the forecast. And, of course, you know how we end things with Lucky Dog and some Lap Traffic fantasy. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, get a beverage, put the do not disturb if you're listening at work, because, it's Jeff Striegle, and he just brings it every time. So let's see what he's got to say. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, joining me on the line, making his 20th appearance on the Lap Traffic Podcast. You hear him on MRN Radio. You see him at the track, and you definitely see him at Berlin Raceway. Welcome back to the show, my friend and yours, Mr. Jeff Striegle. Sir, good evening. How are you?
I'm great. I can't believe it's 20 appearances. It seems like only yesterday, doesn't it?
I know, man. It's incredible. I cannot thank you enough. I say that every time you're on here, but it holds equally true. It's been a minute since you've been on. Last time you were on was October 12th last year, and I know we talked about trying to do the 20th one in person, but I couldn't keep holding it off. We needed to get you on the show, and we'll figure something out for an in-person thing at some point in time.
I'd like to do that. We'd have a lot of fun doing it. And before we go, I want to just commend you because, all of the raves that you're getting on social media, well deserved. I see them all the time, people commenting about this show, that show, and rightfully so. You've always done a great job, and I'm just happy to see that you're getting the praise that you deserve for the work that you put in.
I appreciate that so much, man. I really do. It's been a hell of a ride. It's year 6. I've kind of joked with the listeners a little bit because, like, for years 3 through 5, I mean, there were some weeks I did a show, 2 shows a week for, a 2-month period stretch, and was doing anywhere between 50 to 60 shows a season, so to speak. And, with the new little addition of the family, I've taken a couple off weeks, and but much needed. And I'm just still happy to be here, still happy to be relevant, and having fun doing it, man.
More relevant today than you were yesterday, and that's what you want to be, and you've done a great job. Obviously, the little one is doing well.
Little one's doing good. He will be 10 weeks tomorrow. He's growing like a weed already, and when not to be too much information, but he was a C-section, and when they lifted him up, I mean, full head of hair, and knock on wood, hasn't lost any of it yet. So he's
ready to go to the races.
You know it, man. You know it.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. Can't wait to get him out there for sure. So, what about you, man? What's new and exciting? When's the boat coming out?
Based on the calendar or based on the weather? Because I don't think those two are aligning right now at all.
No.
May 15 is always the boat day.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping that the Michigan weather will change in a hurry, because as I'm talking to you, and you know this because, you live right here as well.
Yes.
What are we, 50 degrees maybe? I doubt it.
Yeah.
40s all day long. In fact, I was at the track all day today. And here's what's crazy. We opened Saturday, and it was 82 degrees. Now, it snowed the Monday prior to the opening. In fact, I tweeted that out. We're opening Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's snowing. Well, we're 3 days removed from the season opener when it was 82, and it actually snowed a little bit today at the track. Not enough to cover the ground, but I'm walking around the concourse looking at different things, and it's sleeting, it's snowing, it's raining, it's just over 40 degrees, and I'm thinking, good grief, man, this is Michigan. I just hope that Saturday wasn't summer and we've already transitioned back into the fall, because it was short-lived, that's for sure. But it came on the right time, I know that.
Yes, no, that's cool, man. Yeah, I mean, this weekend, you couldn't have scripted it to be any better, and, anybody that wasn't here this weekend, and if you were to tell them today what the weekend was, they wouldn't believe you. Like, I got out to the golf course. It was packed, barbecued, all the things that, we get with spring fever here in Michigan. We crammed it all in 2 days, man, because you just don't know when it's going to come back.
Well, and fortunately for us, it happened on a Saturday, and there was no doubt about the fact that the people that were race fans were ready for the warm day. They were ready to go to the track. They showed up in droves. We kid, we laugh a little bit, but, for anybody that knows the Berlin Raceway, in the old days, they used to line up at the gate trying to get in. And quite honestly, the cars would line up all the way out to the highway. Well, I mean, obviously that's not a good thing. Obviously, we all know that. But I can tell you that Saturday we did have traffic backed up all the way onto the highway trying to get off and get into the Berlin Raceway. And, of course, they were lined up at the gate. They were lined up at the concession stands. They filled the grandstands. And all in all, it worked out perfectly. But you can say it's the perfect storm, absolute ideal weather, season opener. Get ready, because here they come.
That's great, man. So happy for you guys over there. That's fantastic. Speaking of stands being full, man, we're 10 races in, and they're you've had bird's eye view at some of these things. They're looking pretty good.
I couldn't be more pleased with where we're at today. And I'll be honest with you. I thought the first 6 races were absolutely A+ events. Martinsville, I think we expected a lot out of Martinsville. We expected a lot out of Richmond, and I think I'm not telling you anything that the fans and you don't already know. Those were probably the two weakest events as far as entertainment value is concerned. But, that aside, when you go all the way back to the LA Coliseum, what we saw, to kick off the season, there's a lot of people that thought that was going to be a big mistake. It turned out to be anything but. It was a huge hit. And we were off and running. And the 500 didn't disappoint. Phoenix, California, Las Vegas, they didn't disappoint. Sold out at Phoenix, all but sold out at California. And the crowds were big everywhere we've been. The new car hasn't disappointed. We leave Talladega, another huge crowd at Talladega. Like super speedway racing or not, it was a great show, full of entertainment. Xfinity has not disappointed. The trucks have been spectacular. So, I like where we're headed. And I say that for a multitude of different reasons, but I say that most importantly based on the fan interaction, based on what I see on social media. The fans are there. They like what they're seeing in general, and they're showing up at the racetrack. And I think that's really what it's all about. Was there an empty seat at Talladega? Yep, there was. But I would also say that that's as good a crowd, as big a crowd as I've seen in a lot of years. So, again, I'm going to repeat myself, but I really like the direction that we're heading. And I don't think there's any sign of us slowing down at this particular point. When I say us, I'm talking about NASCAR in general.
I love it. I think there's a couple factors that play with it, right? Like, NASCAR is such a fan-engaged sport. Racing in general, not just NASCAR. Racing in general, a fan-engaged sport. People wanted to be able to go to the track and do what they're used to doing. They want to, they want to go. They want to take their kids. They want to walk the concourse. They want to go into the Michigan Fan Plaza through the kids zone. They want to hear concerts. They want to socialize. For so long, that's what race weekend has been for the fans, and to have to just go and show up and go sit in the stands for the race. For the last year and a half at some tracks, I think people are just excited to be able to get back to the racing experiences that they were, and then throw in the on-track entertainment, action, competitiveness. Like you said, it's not slowing down. The car hasn't disappointed, and they're only going to be able to make improvements upon it. So I think all that just is such an upward arrow on the chart. It's fantastic.
Well, and I think what you said is 100% accurate. And I'm also going to remind everybody, you and I just chatting here, that the fans aren't going to show up if the entertainment value isn't there. And I think based on everything I've heard, everything I've read, everything I've seen, and the people that I've talked to, the entertainment value is there, and maybe even more so than most expected. I think, we've gotten to a point in society where we want to be critical before we have any opportunity to actually see what we're going to witness, right?
Yep.
The concert's not going to be any good. Well, have they taken the stage yet? No, but I just know it's not going to be any good. Then all of a sudden the band takes the stage and they go, wow, this is actually pretty good. A lot better than what I thought.
Right.
And I think that's a little bit maybe what we've gone through is, we're quick to be negative before we actually have an opportunity to see and witness what the product is going to be, what the entertainment value is going to be. And I think when we look at the fact that, I don't know how many of the infields have been sold out through the first 10 races, but the majority, if not all of them. And that just tells you that people do see value in packing up the kids, like you said, or the friends, the camper, the RV. We're heading to the track. Doesn't matter what track it is, we're heading out. Why? Because it's the place to be, because the entertainment value is there. The racing is good. The side-by-side action that I've come to expect is back. And again, I just don't see that slowing down.
Nope. I'm with you 100% there. To lead into the next thing here, we kind of mentioned it with the excitement and getting back to the track. New car, which has led to, unique and new pit stops. Jeff, we're 10 races in, decent sample size because we've been to each style of track. What's your overall impression on seeing this car at, the different style of tracks that we go to?
I liked the car the first time I saw it in LA. And I remember specifically the cars are all staged outside of the Coliseum, and Alex and I are waiting to see the cars come through the tunnel for the very first time. And here comes the first car and the second car and the third and the fifth and the 20th. And hearing them was like, holy cow, man, I love that sound. Seeing them for the first time, the numbers moved forward and the sponsors being represented differently. And we looked at one by one them coming out, and it's like, holy cow, man, these things look fantastic. All right, well, I'm not telling anybody they don't already know, because at this point in the season, everybody's seen the car and they've been able to formulate their own opinion. But what I'm seeing on the racetrack has not disappointed. What I'm seeing on pit road certainly has not changed the aspect, the strategy of what we've come to expect. At this particular point, I'd argue with anybody that the way the wheel and the tire and all of the pit stops are taking place somehow has altered our sport to the negative, because I don't agree with that. And honestly, I think this is very important. What does the car look like? Does it look cool? Does it look like a race car? Does it look like something I want to go and watch? And I think, again, based on the crowds, everybody is pretty much under the same opinion that, yeah, they look great. And I'll tell you, week in and week out, Alex Hayden and I will sit in the broadcast booth. We'll look down at the grid before they go, and we will try to pick out the best scheme, the best designed race car. And I will tell you that we can go from position number 1 back to position number 38 or 39, whatever the number of cars might be there. And it's like, they are spectacular. There isn't a weak looking car in the field. And I don't care whether we're talking about the Penske cars or the front row cars or BJ McLeod. And I'll tell you something, BJ McLeod brings a absolute spectacular looking race car to the track each and every week. So, I don't have anything negative to say about the car. I think what we saw early on when they blew tires and they couldn't move, that was a bad deal. That needed to be fixed immediately. Now, I honestly don't know what all has changed, but we have not had that situation. Somebody blows the tires on their car and they're just dead in the water sitting on the track. Having to get a flatbed out there was not going to work. We saw that happen for the first, 1 or 2 races. We have not seen that occur since. So we know I think if we're smart, we recognize the fact that this is always going to be, something that we have to look at, evaluate, and make changes if changes are necessary. And I've said that with you for years now, that NASCAR is never going to just sit there and watch something that didn't work continue to not work without making some sort of changes. We're going to continue to see this car evolve, and I like where we're at now, and I can't wait to see where we ultimately end up.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think, for me, you see a lot of negative stuff on social media, whether it's from where the number is onto the car to, the finish of the race. Everyone's got something to say about it. And, to unpack that and to break it down to really what was there, what is there. And like you said, it is as simple sometimes as, does the car look badass or not? And, the overall model of the car looks fast. It looks sporty. It looks like a race car. The logos, like you said, are absolutely fantastic. The paint schemes, that's important from a casual fan perspective in terms of, getting that draw, whether it's for one race because there's nothing on TV, or hey, this is my first time there. This was awesome. Now I'm going to go watch it on TV after a friend dragged me to the track. And now I'm going back next year or next race if they're there another time this year. All of that just plays such an important role that I think gets overlooked, by a lot of people in terms of its importance.
I know you know who Jeff Gluck is, and I think most of the listeners know who Jeff Gluck is.
Absolutely.
On social media. Well connected in the sport, absolutely connected in the sport. And as you know, he puts out a poll
Yes.
following every weekend's race. Like it or not, you're going to see what the fans have to say. And I know that the Martinsville race and I know that the Richmond race probably didn't get the numbers that, NASCAR and fans would like to have received. That's fair. But when you take a look at what the poll results have been since we dropped the green flag in Daytona, and I don't know this because I haven't talked to him about it, but I would say that they are probably as high as they have ever been since he started doing that poll. I think the last time I looked or saw an update, 87% of the people liked what they saw at Talladega. Now, if you're only going to get 20 people to weigh in, that's one thing. As we know, he's getting several thousand people that are weighing in. So I value what the fan is saying.
Yep.
And as you know, for 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, the numbers have all been 85% or better that the fans liked the race. And I think that just goes to show the direction that we're headed.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Jeff Gluck, polls, racing, let's talk about this weekend a little bit here. Saturday's Xfinity race, 3 overtimes. Noah Gragson taking the checkers. Talk about what stood out to you Saturday afternoon and those wild finishes there.
Well, that's what you got, wild finishes. That's what you expect at Talladega. It didn't disappoint. I don't think it ever disappoints. You know what you're going to get going in. The only thing you don't know is who's going to be celebrating at the end of the afternoon. Noah Gragson holding everybody off after 3 overtime finishes, then his wild celebrations, which are becoming, famous to him now for sure. The fans love it when he wins. It's fun to see what he's going to do. You never know what Noah's going to do after he picks up a win. Spectacular race. You transition that into Sunday's event. Again, you kind of know what to expect, but you don't know when to expect it. You don't know who's going to be involved. You certainly don't know who's going to win. I truly expected William Byron to hook up with Eric Jones, and they were going to come across the line 1-2. I had that. Whether we wrecked after the white flag, I just expected Eric Jones and William Byron to be working together, and they were going to finish 1-2. Obviously, I missed that by a long shot. Even made the comment that as Eric Jones came across the line, I said, Eric Jones leads here with 1 to go. Now the question is, will he be leading when he makes this one final trip around the racetrack? Not only did he not win, he didn't finish second or third or fourth or fifth. I think he finished 6th. Wild finish, crazy finish. And that's Talladega. That's super speedway racing.
Yes, you nailed it. For me, I love the finish to Sunday's Cup race. I know we're going to have the wrecks. I know we're going to have carnage sometimes like we had Saturday. If we can hold off till that last lap, to me, if that's what I want to see. I want to see it on the last lap, but I want to see it 9 times because I just feel so bad for everybody involved. Like the last lap, go get it, go after it, and that's what we got. And, sitting there on the edge of the couch, just, clinching, are we going to, we basically kind of had a 14-lap shootout there at Talladega to close thing out. And it was like, when you think of shootouts, you're thinking Bristol, you're thinking Martinsville, you're thinking Phoenix. You don't necessarily, at least I don't, associate shootout and super speedway that often. And I felt like we had a 14-lap shootout at Talladega, and the fact that they were able to stay clean and racing to the through the white flag, basically, I got behind that finish at Talladega on Sunday.
When I dropped them to Dave Moody in turn 1, Alex looked at me and said they're not going to make it all the way back. And, we kind of looked at each other, and I said, yeah, you're right. Where they're going to wad them up, I'm not sure, but it's not going to be at the start finish line. We were both wrong. And here's the thing about super speedway racing. At that moment, I thought, okay, this race is going to be won by Eric Jones. And you're kind of looking back through the field, and we can see him going down the back straightaway. We can see drivers hooking up with one another. And it's like, yeah, somebody's got to roll him on the outside. Here comes so-and-so. But I didn't have Chastain figured into that equation. I thought he was just too far back, but, obviously you got to get support. He got it from Austin Dillon. The two of them hooked up, and the seas parted, and hello, that's how you win at Talladega. You got to have a drafting partner. He did in Austin Dillon. He was able to avoid the carnage as they worked off turn number 4 back through the tri-oval. So, and I've said it, I don't know how many times with you and I, just when you think you know who's going to go to victory lane in a NASCAR race, something changes, a late caution flag, somebody blows a tire, there's a wreck, whatever. And, again, I thought it was going to be this guy. Wait one lap. All I had to do was wait 45 seconds to prove that even though I thought I knew who was going to victory lane, you got to wait until that lap is complete because it's liable to change. And like we have seen so many times already this year, it did.
Absolutely. We can what if things to death, right? If Kurt Busch doesn't make the move he makes, I don't think the field, like you said, the seas separated. The seas don't separate for Ross to be able to get the hookup from Austin Dillon for the 2-car push tandem almost to be able to work. If they stay, if that doesn't happen, I think we have a different outcome. But I love how it finished.
It's a domino effect. We've seen it time and time again that if this doesn't happen, then that whole thing doesn't happen. The second that one car pulls out of line, it may be where he pulls out of line and nobody goes with him and he free falls to the back. But when that happens, it opens up a new door. Is somebody going to step in and fill that spot or not? And like you said, it took one driver to make one move, and then all of a sudden it's on. We've got a whole new set of circumstances and a quarter of a mile to figure out how it's all going to come to an end. Can't wait to get back there. I tweeted out the other day, it's Talladega. You've heard me say it before. I love Talladega. Would I want to go to Talladega every single weekend? No. But I don't want to go to Martinsville every single weekend. I don't want to go to Phoenix every single weekend. But when you get there and you absorb the atmosphere, the energy of the fans, the track, each one so phenomenally different from another, it's electric, it's magnetic, and you just can't wait to get back to that track, whatever track that might be.
I love it. It's funny, you mentioned about how quickly you can get to the front is as quickly as you can get to the back. Austin Cindric, the seas separated, and he went, I think, from about 3rd to 36 in about a backstretch there. It felt like that towards the end of stage 3 there.
He pulled out a line. You're absolutely right. And that's just it. You think you have the best laid plan. Your spotters have talked to other spotters, and all of a sudden the word is, all right, Austin, when we, come rumbling off turn number 2, take it 3 wide. I think we've got some people that are going to go with you. So let's make our move right now. Clear outside, go. And he jumps out of line and he looks in the rearview mirror and there's nobody back there.
Yep.
And next thing you know, they are streaming by him on the inside, and he is just free falling to the tail end of the field and probably on the radio going, what part of that did I miss? I thought we were all going to the front. Yep. Instead, he just sank like a rock.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're right.
All right, I want to go back to the Xfinity Series for a minute because you tell me if I'm making something out of nothing here. Are we starting to see a big 3 forming in the Xfinity Series with AJ, Grexon, and Gibbs? 4th on back is pretty close. From 4th to 12th, 54 points, but the first three have, I think, about a 50 to 60 point lead on the rest of the field. Are we seeing a big three again in the Xfinity Series right now?
Well, I think we are, but I think that there's going to be fourth, fifth, all the way back through 12th that are going to try to argue with us. I don't think Justin Allgaier is done for the season. You know that.
Yep.
I don't think Brandon Jones is done for the year. So they've got something to say about how this whole thing is going to play out. Now, as it stands right now, when we roll into Dover, where we can all walk over to the Dover Downs Casino and put down $20, would you bet against Ty Gibbs? I wouldn't. Not right now. Not as we're talking. I guess if I had $20 and somebody said you have to pick one driver right now that you think is going to win, I think you would have to look at the three drivers you just named, and I'd probably put my money down on the 54 car. But how many times have we talked about this, Brandon? The big three or the big four in the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series or the Cup Series. And these are the guys that are going to contend, and they're going to go all the way to Phoenix, and they're going to race for a championship, only to the point when we get to Phoenix and two of the three or three of the four or whatever the number is, isn't even in it to contend for the championship.
Go ask
Noah
Kevin
Gregson.
Harvick.
Well, that's exactly right. Just go ask Kevin Harvick 2 years ago.
Yep.
Noah Gregson's on a roll right now. There's no doubt. And I think that while not everybody believes in momentum, I do think that Noah thrives on momentum. I think personally he does. I think he rallies his team. They come in, and those guys are just jacked up. I don't know that I necessarily see that type of personality with Ty. Ty seems to be all business all the time. I'm here for one reason, and that is to win races. And when I get done winning that race, just tell me where the next one is, because I'm on my way, and we're going to go win that one too. And then who am I missing?
Dinger.
Thank you. Drawing a blank. AJ's a little, what's kind of funny, AJ's a little bit of both.
Right,
in a way.
yes, he is. AJ's got a little bit of Clint Boyer in him, but a little bit of business in him too,
Yeah, he does. So, you take those three very, very different individuals. I mean, you take AJ, number one, I've been here, done this before. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a personality and the excitement and the love for the sport. And it obviously shows up every time he is either on camera or on radio. It doesn't matter. He just loves what he does. But when he puts on a helmet, he's 100% all business. And obviously Noah is also. But very different individuals, all three very, very good at what they do. All three on a roll right now. We head to Dover. Can't wait to see how it plays out. But I guess I would just say this. Don't be too quick to count everybody out, because we've still got a long way to go.
Absolutely. All right, man. So here's where I'm at. I started the show like this. I do like to place a few bets here and there, as everybody that listens knows. There is no way in hell I believe anybody would have called 10 races in, putting a bet down that Ross Chastain would have 2 wins in the season with Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano winless. I love every second about it. I think that's adding to the excitement. I think that's adding to the fans, getting behind things. Maybe a little bit has to do with the fact everyone's still figuring out the new car. But even if that is the case, who cares? Ross Chastain's got 2 wins. He's got a huge fan base. We saw, all these things happen to him, from the Truck Series to, what happened in Xfinity. Everybody was rallying behind, and the payoff is there. And it's great for the sport. It's a new team. I mean, I love everything about it.
Why wouldn't you rally behind Trackhouse Racing? Why wouldn't you rally behind Ross Chastain? They are exactly what we need for this sport right now. A new not a new face. I mean, I'm sorry, Ross. I don't mean it that way. But yet, like you said, Ross Chastain wasn't a winner at the Cup level. So at the Cup level, I will say it, he's a new face, and he is winning races, and he's competitive week in and week out. I'm going to add to your little, I'm going to throw money down. How many people out there had William Byron and Ross Chastain as the only two multi-time winners so far in the season?
I love it.
Raise your hand if you're that person.
Yeah.
Raise your hand and speak up now, because I wouldn't have had that. You wouldn't have had that. And 99.99% of the people listening would not have had that. I've said on this show for a long time, and you know this, that I kept saying that William Byron is going to be the real deal. And the crazy thing is I keep saying it, and Byron would finish 28th. Byron would finish 16th. And I'd come back, go, I don't know why, but I just think if we hang with this kid long enough, he is absolutely one of the most talented race car drivers I've seen. And I think once he just settles in, understands the surroundings and how to go out and be a successful Cup Series driver, you're going to have a hard time stopping him.
You want to know?
Right,
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
go.
As you just said all of that, do you want to know who came to mind as like the, Byron of 10 years ago? Was Joey Logano, because we saw the same thing out of Joey Logano finish, 20th, 25th, 20th, and then all of a sudden that light switch went off, and he just went off, and I think that's exactly where we're at with Byron right now.
And I know we cannot compare William Byron to these next two drivers, but there are two other drivers that were similar in nature. One of them was the guy that drove the 24 for a long time, and that was Jeff Gordon. And the other one would be his teammate, Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
You had to give them time to settle into a new role, a new environment, longer races, more horsepower, significantly more competition. And when they finally figured it out, they were unstoppable. Now, is William Byron going to be the next Jeff Gordon or Jimmy Johnson? I don't know. Am I going to say he can't be? Heck no. The kid's the real deal. He always has been, and he's not that old. So I believe he's 24 years old. He's got a long, long career in front of him. Ross Chastain, 28, has a long career in front of him. I really, and I just want to circle back to where you actually started this. There's just so many good things about that entire team and organization. Daniel Suarez, Ross's teammate, is going to win his share of races.
Yep, he should have had one already too.
Well, no doubt.
I should have the wrong word, but could have had one.
Right, absolutely. And I don't know when it's going to happen. It may happen at Kansas. It may happen at Dover this coming weekend. I don't know. But again, if we're going to use the casino lingo, I'm certainly not going to bet against him. Because he may be right now, I suppose, if we want to, use an analogy, he may be right now where William Byron was a year ago. He recognizes that he's got great equipment. I think he recognizes his surrounding. I think he knows that he is with a good organization. He's going to give 110%. And when you put all of that together, a win is going to come. It's just a matter of when it happens.
Absolutely. Well, and speaking of Byron, he's got a couple top 5 finishes at Dover this week. That might be where my money's looking. If I were a betting man.
if you were. We go to Dover. You know what the problem is? We go to Dover, and you know what else is going on this weekend, don't you? The Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it's going to be crazy.
So, there may just be the opportunity for some of us with a motor racing network to go up to the old window, and I have no idea. I couldn't tell you one horse that's in it. Have no idea. I'll probably pick the horse that's got the coolest name.
Yes.
And pull out $20 and go, okay, that's my horse. Let her run. And, we do have fun doing that. And people probably, we've been asked before, what do you guys do? Well, everybody knows we play Golden Tee Golf.
Yes.
on that Saturday, I can tell you that we will all be together, and we'll all go down to the casino or the sports. What do you call it? The sports room or the betting room? I don't know what it's called.
Sportsbook.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That just shows how often I'm in a casino. But we'll all go down there and we'll grab a beverage of our choice and we'll sit there and watch the Kentucky Derby. And some of us will be happy and the majority of us will be disappointed, like we always are.
Right, absolutely. All right, I gotta do a complete curveball here because you brought up Golden Tee, which everyone knows you and I both are avid players of that. And I got to ask you, have you played this new blue machine with the cup holders that's completely different?
Yeah, we did. We played it the other day. I don't know that I want to give my opinion on your podcast. I love the machine. I say I'm not going to give my opinion, but yet I'm getting ready to. The new machine is spectacular. I absolutely love the new machine. And I think we played TPC to start with, and we thought, man, this is really cool. But the golf courses that they're patterning this new machine after are not as challenging as the ones that they fabricate and make up.
Yes.
So we played them all. We enjoyed them all. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to go back and replay them again.
Yep.
Because quite honestly, we have more fun playing the created golf courses rather than the ones that they're trying to emulate. We are kind of waiting to see if they'll ever put Augusta out there so that we can actually play where they play the Masters. I think that'd be fun.
Amazing.
But
yes.
Have you played it yet?
I played it once, and so the bar that I go to, on the regular has both, and I've got the at home edition, so it's like I'm so invested into what I've been playing for the last 15, 20 years that it's like
correct.
I'm sticking with the old school there.
I will tell you this. Alex Hayden absolutely spanked me on the first one. I don't know. He shot 24, 25 under. I played well. I think I shot 20 under, but I couldn't hold a candle to Hayden, and he cleaned my clock.
There you go.
I let him, get a little, a little win under his belt. He starts getting a little cocky. Then I'll come back and take it to him.
I love it.
Hopefully this weekend.
I love it. All right, man. Berlin Raceway. Blaney was, the opposite way. Berlin was on Blaney's car this weekend. What put that together?
Well, that's just part of the Adventure Track Challenge from Advanced Auto Parts. They're just doing such a great job. And I think people need to recognize that Advanced Auto Parts is such a huge supporter, as other companies are, of short track racing. But Advanced Auto Parts is continuing to put out the Adventure Track Challenge, and you can find out more by going to Advanced Auto Parts and looking that up. All the NASCAR sanctioned short tracks have the opportunity to win 50 grand. Berlin Raceway won it a year ago, and so they were flying the name on the car. I think he's representing all of the tracks over the course of the season. So we happened to be on the car for Talladega. So sentimentally, yes, I was pulling for Ryan to win and that car being in victory lane so I could get a picture of that. It didn't happen. But, it's just a cool deal. We are not eligible this year because we won it last year. But I would encourage all the fans to get out there and take a look at the tracks that are eligible. They're tracks in your home state. Some of them might even be in your backyard. And all of those tracks would love to take that $50,000 grand prize home for sure.
It was a cool deal. I remember I had Advanced Auto Parts on last year, and that was really cool what they put together. What's some of the big upcoming events coming up at Berlin?
Well, we've got a couple of them, and thank you for asking. We've got two of the biggest super late model races in the country, one of them on Wednesday, June 8th, and one of them on Wednesday, August the 10th. So if you like super late model racing, midweek shows William Byron, we were talking about William earlier. William will be at both races and competing. I expect Bubba Pollard and Stephen Nasse. Derek Thorne said he's coming. Ty Majeski said he's coming. So we're talking about the biggest names in super late model racing in the country. Derek Griffith said that he was planning on coming. Now, since that last I spoke to Derek, he was involved in that big crash, and I think it was at New Hampshire? Don't know. And they wrecked that super late, but I would imagine they will get another one built. Point being, by the way, Carson Hocevar and Eric Jones are also coming to those events.
Michigan natives.
So, I mean, yeah. I know Chandler Smith is trying to work it out where he can be there. Sammy Smith has already entered into June. I mean, if you just go back and rerun the names that I just gave you, they're significant, and they're coming up. They'll be here on June 8th and August 10th. Those are both Wednesday night shows. The other one I want to touch on, what's going on in your backyard? I hear dogs.
Yes,
what's happening?
I heard the dogs are barking upstairs. I don't know. The wife probably ordered Alden something on Amazon and dropping it off.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yes.
And then I guess I'll throw out this July 15 and July 16, the ISMA Super Modifieds in conjunction with the Midwest Super Modified Series. We've got the Supers coming for a 2-day show. They'll be running a full program on Friday night, July the 15th, another full program on July the 16th. So if you like super modified racing and you're anywhere near Michigan, will be the place to be. ARCA will be coming back on June 18th with Daniel Dye trying to go back-to-back. There's something going on all the time. BerlinRaceway.com. I will tell you this, kids 15 and under are free this year. We might be the only track in the country that's offering that. We didn't raise our ticket prices this year, even though everybody across the country is finding the necessity to raise their ticket prices and concession prices. We're trying to hold everything, making things as affordable as we can. A family of 5 with kids 15 and under can get in for $24. That's $12 a piece adult admissions for a regular show. So our focus right now is on the fan. Make sure that they can afford to take their family and go and watch short track racing. And again, I'll tell you, it certainly worked out last Saturday. We had more kids on the property than we've ever had before. That is something that is near and dear to me. Seeing families and kids and grandmas and grandpas bringing, the grandkids out to the racetrack. So, again, BerlinRaceway.com or follow us on Facebook. Just search Berlin Raceway.
I love it. And you guys have put a lot of improvements. You guys have a kick-ass bar. I've seen some pictures of this thing. I mean, I need to have a drink on that bar at some point in time. But you guys have done a lot of improvements to the grounds, which is awesome.
We doubled the size of our band stage. We've got a live band every Saturday night following the event. We've added some lights and additional sound to that outdoor lounge area that you're talking about. Our outdoor grilling area, we had to double because of the amount of interaction we had with the fans there. We're building a new deck. Thank you, Advance Auto Parts. That was part of what we said we were going to do with the 50,000 if we won it. We have a 5,000 square foot, 100% composite deck being built as we speak, courtesy of our friends from Bay to Bay Building Concepts in Hastings, Michigan. We took down one small section of grandstands, Brandon, and we're building a green space out there where we can hold car shows. We can actually increase our hospitality in the event that we need additional hospitality area, or it becomes our new kids play area. So you're right. We probably have too much construction going on. I say that kiddingly because I'm the one who's trying to oversee it all, and sometimes it doesn't allow me to sleep at night because I want it done tomorrow.
Yep.
But I'll tell you right now, anybody that hasn't been to Berlin Raceway in the past 2 years, if they show up, I can pretty much guarantee you that they're going to say, holy cow, a lot has changed.
That's great, man. I love that. Let's keep it home. Let's talk about Michigan. It'll be here before we know it. Jeff, maybe, between Saturday or Sunday, because it'll just be a 2-day show now. We'll have ARCA Friday night, but maybe we can schedule some time. I'll pack up the recording equipment. Maybe we can do something in the media center or the press box Saturday afternoon or something like that before the Xfinity race.
I would love to do that, and I'm going to put a tickler out there. We were talking about camping and how much has been selling out. I would say anybody thinking about coming to Michigan and camping in that infield probably needs to do so sooner than later, because I will all but guarantee you that is going to sell out well in advance. So, it's always a cool place to go. Crazy party, wonderful fans. And I'm going to tell you that it's not going to last very much longer before they make an announcement that their camping is 100% sold out.
Well, speaking of the partying, about 3 or 4 years ago, I interviewed Ben Rose in the media center at MIS, and he dubbed it the Talladega of the North. So, yes, it is party central in the Michigan campgrounds.
Well, I've said it before, the biggest party atmosphere in an infield is Michigan. And I know that upsets my friends at Talladega, but I'm going to tell you that you could put Talladega and Michigan right at the top, and the other one that you got to include now is Watkins Glen, because the infield at Watkins Glen is it's a party. It's a lot of fun. Daytona's there. There's so many of them. California's got a great infield. Now I'm going to get myself in trouble because I need to name them all. But Talladega, Michigan, and Watkins Glen have to be the top 3.
I love it. Jeff, man, what a way to do the 20th appearance here. This was a lot of fun. Covered a lot of ground, and I can't thank you enough. Where can everybody follow you? MRN, Berlin, get tickets, hit them all.
Well, you know what? If they want to follow me, it's simply at Jeff Striegle. If they want to follow Berlin Raceway, like I said, berlinraceway.com, or search Berlin Raceway on Facebook, at MRN Radio on Twitter for the Motor Racing Network, and that pretty much covers everything. And I'm going to leave you with this crazy thought. I am getting ready now to go and mow my front yard for the very first time this year. I'm going to do so, Brandon, in the snow as it is beginning. I'm not kidding you.
I believe it.
I am not kidding you. I'm getting ready to go mow my front yard. And as I'm getting ready to do that and say goodbye to you, it is now beginning to snow. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, Jeff, you're a little further west, a little more north, so I believe every second of that.
And I'm a little closer to Lake Michigan.
Yes.
So
Yep. That
there you
lake effect. I love it. Jeff, thank you so much. We'll be in touch. We'll talk to you soon, brother. Appreciate you as always.
Can't wait. I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Take care.
I mean, Lab Traffic Nation. 20 times Jeff Striegle has brought it and delivered, and I just love everything about talking to Jeff Striegle. So awesome. So honored to have him a part of the show. 20 times. I think that's like 8% of the shows that have been published. Jeff Striegle's been on, and I tell you what, if we could make it work, I'd have him on 80% of the time, but that's just not realistic. But look forward to having Jeff back on, as I know he will be. So, all right, let's do a little Lab Traffic social media. Everybody, make sure you check out the website, thelabtrafficpodcast.com, Facebook, The Lab Traffic Podcast, YouTube, The Lab Traffic Podcast, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Lab Traffic PC. If you've made it this far into the show, make sure you leave a review, tell your friends, all that good stuff. You can listen to the show on iTunes, Podbean, or your favorite hosting site. Still got the giveaway going on. I don't know. I'm willing to pay for 190 followers at this point, just so I can hit that 6,000. Give this away take a break, and then come and do something new. I am hell-bent on never doing a follower giveaway again, or if I do, it's not going to be as far out. Like if we're in getting close to a milestone number, I'm going to make sure we're real close before I do it so that it doesn't drag on like this one has. I've got that 124 diecast, Chase Elliott, Race Win Phoenix, as well as some Kevin Harvick sheet metal at 6,000 followers. Just got 190 to go. So go check it out. But speaking of new followers, Todd at Todd Ingersoll 7, Martin Truex Jr. wrestling fan. Hell yeah. Zach at NASCAR _rocks _47, Justin Haley fan. Jimmy at Jazzy James, a Byron and Raiders fan. And Hayden at Hayden Density Sports. At Hayden Density. Aspiring sports writer, it looks like, and a hopeful future chef, which I absolutely love. We do a lot of food talk on this podcast about smoking meat and grilling meat, man. Hell yeah. Welcome to the show. Don't forget to go to the website, thelivetrafficpodcast.com, fill out the contact page, and I will send you stickers and a koozie for free. So there we have it. All right. Let's get Aaron Studwell on the line. We got lots to talk about. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, joining me on the line. You can follow him on Twitter at RaceWeather, along with Brian Newdorf, keeping us up to date with all the weather happenings. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Aaron Studwell. Sir, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm doing well, and yourself?
Excellent, thank you. Excellent. It's been a minute. Glad to have you back.
It feels like it's been longer than 2 weeks, but I guess it's been 3. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Because you missed, you took a week off, and you had Brian, then I'm back.
Yes.
So it has been 3. That's why it feels longer than 2. This is why I had the big pieces of paper on the wall.
Well, lots to talk about. And I want to start. I'll give you the options, and we can dive in wherever you want. So we've got Talladega, obviously. We got Landon Castle. We've got some baseball if we want. We've got a Michigan follow-up to our conversation 3 weeks ago. You're going to Dover. Where do you want to dive in at first?
Let's start with Miggy.
Okay, yeah. Dude, Miguel.
Yeah, that's history.
That is history. 3,000th career hit. Took him a couple extra days longer. Missed out on a prop bet on one of the Yankees games for that. But, hey, that is what it is. But very cool. There are just some things that you kind of take for granted, I think, in the sports world. And for us in Detroit, I think it's Miguel Cabrera. And I wish like hell they would have been able to capitalize on that World Series in 2012. But, I can't tell you how many baseball games I've been to and just took for granted every time Miguel Cabrera walked up to the plate.
Yeah, and you give me a list of current players, and he's going to be, if you're going to say, okay, here's Detroit's roster, here's a current list of rosters. Yeah, you think Cabrera is a Hall of Fame. Cabrera is a Hall of Famer. But now with this accomplishment and everything he's done in his career and everything his whole career's been in the Detroit system.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, he's been Detroit Tigers baseball. If we don't have Miguel Cabrera,
you could relabel yourselves the Mud Hens North.
Absolutely, because if you don't have him, you don't have maybe some guys wanting to stick around and pitch for us for as long as they did. You maybe don't have, Victor Martinez stick around as long as he did. There was so much of a foundation built around this team, with him. And like I said, that's where it's such a bummer to have the season that they did back in 2012 and to get swept in the World Series. Like the last 2 times of this I think it was 2008 they went and in 2012, and they're the only team I think to have gotten swept in the World Series. Like just crazy, but lack of bullpen is what happened there. But, and not a horrible start for them. They're showing a little life, even when they were, great in that, early 2010 stretch, they're late bloomers. And it's just because of the weather, I think, in Metro Detroit.
Exactly.
So they're 6-9. The Minnesota Twins are in first place at 500, so it's an abysmal division to begin with, so if they can just string something together once the warmer weather, comes into play, this team's got a ton more talent than last year's team, so
they're heading in the right direction. And I think if they keep that momentum and they keep eyes on them, I think it's great to get people back downtown, back to the park.
Can't wait to take Alden this summer.
Yes, and you're not gonna fake take him like you did on social media.
No, that honestly wasn't my intent behind that. No, I just was like, hey, we're ready for the game to sit on the couch and watch in his Tigers outfit. But we're gonna get him down there for sure.
That's great.
All right, there's number one. Let's stick with the non-NASCAR talk. Let's talk a little Michigan basketball. And I'm sure people are like, dude, you guys said you were done with this. Here it is almost May, and you're still talking Michigan basketball. But there's a reason.
Always Michigan sports season on this show.
True story. So, and you reminded me of this because you were like, hey, are we talking Michigan basketball? And I was like, well, what do we need to talk about? Yeah. So lay the foundation for this one for us.
Well, 3 weeks ago, we were talking about Mr. Howard possibly taking the Lakers job.
Yes.
And then you see all the press, and it's like, you know what? He's not the right fit to go there. I think he wants to stay at Michigan. I think he's maybe test the waters, but he's got a kind of a deal that he can't beat just because honestly, the other thing, look, is Beeline, and it's like, oh, you got him hanging around the program right now because he didn't work out in the pros.
Yep.
So I think, fact is he's staying, and then you have Hunter Dickinson saying he's coming back for his third year, and all these guys are coming back, these high-level recruits. Hey, I'm really glad he's staying because I'm committing to Michigan. I'm doing this, and it's great for the program. It's great for sports talk, and I think it's great for the future of Michigan basketball.
I am glad Dickerson's coming back. I liked Dickerson his freshman year. I was not a big fan of him last year. I kind of felt like he was phoning it in a little bit. And I think now, third year, he'll have more poise. He'll have more size. He knows this year is definitely going to be the make or break for determining his NBA stock. So I know Dickerson can be a beast, and I just felt like he wasn't given it. I'm sure he was. Obviously, that's just the couch coach in me. But
there's also things we don't necessarily know if he had an injury situation, a family situation, or maybe he thought. And the first thing I thought when you mentioned it was maybe he's saving himself for the pros. But now he sees on a team that wasn't a great team. It's like, look, we got to. And it's not the name carrying him there, but it's to some extent, hey, we have the talent, we have the coaching.
Yep.
We didn't have a great team, and we were still a Sweet 16.
Yes. Yep. Yes. So no, I'm excited about all of that. I think next year is going to be a great year. I wonder if Howard becomes the basketball version of Harbaugh, in that every year you are just going to get massive amounts of rumors during the off season in terms of, oh, he's leaving for the pros. He's going back. He's doing this. I mean, we get that nonstop. And apparently this year may have been the closest with Harbaugh with interviewing for the Minnesota Vikings gig. But, I don't know.
I'm okay with the rumors. I'm not okay with the coaches giving him reasons to validate the rumors.
Right, yeah.
I can say, hey, look, the Vikings are interested in Jim Harbaugh, and then he's like, no, I'm here. Not get on a flight, come back, and says, oh, hey, guys, I'm back.
Yeah.
Oh, you were gone?
Right.
Well, yeah.
Exactly. I'm with you. All right, let's see. Okay. I want your take on something that Neudorf said last week. And that is Neudorf was getting some flack from some people regarding the weather this year, and that people were saying how much weather's impacted the racing season this year. Newdorf was basically wanted to say, like, are you smoking crack? Because there hasn't been one Monday race. Maybe some practices have been impacted. Maybe we've had to bring them down, pit road. But from the grand scheme of things, we're doing pretty good this year from a weather perspective. And I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I might have had the same response if you made the same comment to me. I mean, Martin, okay, so we put Talladega in the rearview mirror, bright and sunny.
Yep.
In Martinsville, we were lucky.
Yeah.
We had the race started late. We had one delay, but we haven't had any rain shortened races. Races have been impacted.
Yes.
But nothing's been delayed.
No,
I can live with that. That kind of makes, that's kind of the best for as a meteorologist who allegedly makes a living on doing this stuff. It's kind of the best of both worlds. It's like, hey, look, I get to be busy and drive web traffic and that. We were right, and then but I'd only have to do it one day a week. It's not like Fall Texas 2020 where it was 4 days. It was 4 days of trying, and I think I was behind for a week after all that on everything else I had to get done.
I believe
I've never been so tired, and I think it wore on everybody, and then poor Kevin Harvick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so no, I don't see it as being a negative. Sure, weather's going to impact it, as Brian said on social media. He's like, look, this is an outside sport that runs from February to November. It's hard to avoid having weather impact.
Right.
We've even in the spring Vegas race, we've had rain.
Yeah.
Not this year, but winds, blowing dust. Yeah, it happens.
Absolutely. Speaking of weather, Michigan weather was picture perfect. I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up any better than what we had this past Saturday and Sunday. Here it is Monday, cold, drizzle, and I think about 52 degrees outside, which, I mean, hey, if you're going to have
It's
the
spring.
nice weather, I'll take it on a Saturday and a Sunday, but, the Newdorf also likes to poke fun at me and saying that I choose to live here, which he's not 100% wrong on that one. But yeah, I mean, Michigan likes to tease you, and
let me guess, you put away. Yeah, you're getting teased.
Mm-hmm.
Let me guess, you put the coats away.
Oh God,
you folded up the sweaters and put them in a box.
Yes,
and then you're going to wake up Wednesday and Thursday morning, and it's going to be below freezing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got basketball shorts and a T-shirt on in the basement, and I'm freezing my ass off right now because I'm committed.
Now that's really your own fault.
Yeah. Well, I know. I like to bring things upon myself sometimes.
Well, you have to come on. You always have to wear the Michigan uniform of shorts and a sweatshirt.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm a big the hoodies never get packed away because that is. Lindsay will make so much fun of me because we'll
just end the sentence right there.
I know, right? Yeah. If I'm notorious for walking out of the house for an early tea time, like May and June, with ankle socks, flip flops, shorts, dress shorts, of course, and a hoodie. Like and
hold on, I'm still stuck on the ankle socks and flip flops.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, slides. No, my slides. Yep. Oh, I'm
not sure that makes it better or worse. I'm really not. And now the only thing I can think of with you on their hoodies is you're going the Belichick look, cutting part of the sleeves off.
Oh no. We're full sleevers. I don't get it. I don't create my own. They're stock hoodies. How's that?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to go back to the side. Okay, and you know what the worst part is? I understand why.
Right.
I know why you're doing it. It doesn't mean I can't mock you, question you, or anything else I do.
Yes. Yeah.
I get it, but I'll still pick on you.
Yeah. I mean, I only want to tie shoes once, and that's the golf shoes.
Okay. Oh, don't. I'm not even going to bring weight into this. I'll just say it's a back issue for
Right.
you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yep. Oh man, I love it. I love it. All right, let's reset Dega here for a minute. Landon Castle, solid top finish there, and inside the playoff line, man, things are looking really good for him.
I know. I was looking at that earlier. Up to 11th, another top five, first consecutive top five for him in his career. Another dash for cash shot at Dover this weekend, and Shirley Temples for the house.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I love it.
Everybody gets their Shirley Temples. So, yes, much joy in the Castle household right now, and definitely going the right direction. It's good to see him running back up front. It's the season's really turning out to everything anybody who followed racing for the last 10 or 15 years thought about Landon. He's a great racer. He's a great rep for his sponsor, but he needed to be in quality equipment. You talk to anybody at Hendrick from back in the previous days when he was a test driver for him or a simulation driver. And then even when you put him in back marker cars or mid-level cars when he was with Front Row, you always knew he could compete more. You always knew he could be more than he was. And
he got more out of those cars than a lot of other people would have been able to get out of him.
Right. And it's like last year, he was in a 25th place car. He may finish in the teens.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. It's very exciting, and can't wait to catch it back up with him here soon.
I'm working on it.
Yes.
Has he been in touch with you?
Okay. No, not yet.
Just checking. Okay.
But I know he will. So it's no worries.
Sounds good.
All right, Dover, you're going. So I know you're going to bring some good forecasts. So what do we got?
Well, we're getting a bit of the cool air that you're getting. We get that cold front tomorrow later. It'll be cool latter part of the week. Sunny skies Friday and Saturday. Friday they have the ARCA race and Xfinity practice and qualifying. Sunny skies, windy, 10 to 15 mile an hour with higher gusts. Morning lows 38, daytime highs 61. I know. Saturday, I'm not sure. I couldn't read. I didn't see it. Maybe you can tell me. They have practice this weekend for Cup?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So Cup practice and qualifying. Saturday, the Xfinity race. Saturday, sunny skies again. Morning low 40, daytime high 63. Windy 6 to 12 mile an hour again from the northwest. Cup race Sunday, increasing clouds. The rain chances, which we had in the early forecast, are now going to hold off, maybe at least until Monday. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Morning low 45, daytime high 67. So actually a little bit below normal, but it's going to be a nice day at the track.
Excellent.
Even with the cloudy skies, you keep the concrete a little bit cooler, 67 degrees, a little below normal, but honestly, it'll be dry. It means I can enjoy my weekend in the stands, but I'll be on down in the garages and on pit road on Saturday.
Fantastic. Good.
Looking forward to it. This will be my first time there.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was talking to somebody earlier today. It's like, it's hard to believe that a year ago I was living in Norman, Oklahoma, and I've already moved.
Yeah.
I've moved. Yeah. I hadn't even moved yet. So it's, so I was back on the East Coast and get a chance to hit some of these bucket list tracks I didn't get to last year.
Excellent. Love everything about it. All right, man. Well, this was a good one. I enjoyed this one. We covered some ground.
We always find ground. I guess we should say discover ground to cover.
I love it. That's a good way to put it. I love it.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Well, Lab Traffic Nation, make sure you're following Aaron on Twitter at RaceWeather, and we'll catch you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Great talking to you.
You too. All right, man. We'll see you.
Later.
All right, Lab Traffic Nation, great to catch up with Aaron Studwell there. And you guys, sorry about the Michigan basketball. We had to. We just had to. I know I catch some flack from that every once in a while from you guys, but that's the quote-unquote variety part of the Lap Traffic podcast. They're the weather segment. You're going to get all kinds of things thrown at you there. But I digress. You guys know what those dogs barking in the background means. It's time for this week's Lucky Dog and Lap Down picks. You guys know the drill. Tweet your picks after the race, and we'll get them right on the show and tag you in some social media. My Lucky Dog race weekend, I mean, how is it not Ross Chastain? 2 wins, 10 races. Nobody, I don't care, nobody had that picked. I don't care what Magic 8 Ball, what crystal ball, anything. There's nothing had that predicted. Okay. I'll argue that with anybody. I think it's awesome and fantastic, but nobody had Ross Chastain with 2 wins through 10 races in 2022. Again, I think it's fantastic, but do not. I'll steal one from Newdorf. Don't at me with, oh, I knew that. No, you did not. All right, my lap down is Lap Traffic Fantasy picks for myself, which you'll find out why here in just a minute. But let's get to your picks. Scott at 1985 Wagner's Lucky Dog, Ross Chastain, 2-time winner. Lap down Keselowski, Pit Road Hot Rodder. Yeah, it burned me. Chris at USMC _ NASCAR Fire, Lucky Dog Melon Man, Ross Chastain. Yes, sir. Lap down Kyle, not Clear Larson. Ooh. Colin at Colin _ with _ cars, Lucky Dog to Ross Chastain for getting a second win. Lap down to the Watermelon. Poor fella never stood a chance. I love it. Jason at J.A. Stone 29, Lucky Dog belongs solely to the watermelon farmer for racing hard to get a second win. Congrats to him. Lap down belongs to not ever being able to finish a race at Talladega without wrecking on the last lap. One of these days it'll happen. I hope the 23 is okay. Hard hit. Yeah, that definitely was. Jess at Iowa NASCAR fan, Lucky Dog Chastain. The seas parted at the perfect time. That's a great way to put it. Lap down, Eric Jones made the wrong move. Great speed all day, though. Yeah, I just sit and duck. That's what it ends up becoming, right? And Matt at Camper News Net. Lucky Dog, Ross Chastain, right place, right time, was able to win the race. What a Cinderella story for Trackhouse Racing. Anybody can win at Talladega. Additional Lucky Dog to NBC on Fox for being able to work together to get Dale Jr. to call this weekend's race. How cool was that? And then the mid-race to see that guy driving in the infield in the number 3 Wrangler, that was really cool. I mean, that could have been staged. I don't know. They played it off very well. Either way, I think that was fantastic. Robin at SF49er Girl 16, Lucky Dog has to be Chastain because that needs no explanation. Lap down goes to Eric Jones. He made a move, but it wasn't the right one. And last but not least, Rowdy at the Rowdy Dragon, Lucky Dog. The moose is loose. The Watermelon Man bringing it home. Another win for Trackhouse Racing. Lap down, the 11 team is tripping over their own shadow. Yes, they are. I love it. All right, that's this week's Lucky Dog picks. Can't wait for next week after Dover. And you guys know what time it is. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, let's close this thing down with a little Lap Traffic fantasy. Just a reminder, get your picks in by 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Keep the Twitter interaction up using hashtag LTFantasy. There are just 3 more Cup races to go in segment 1. Then we'll reset it and start it all over again. And we'll add the cumulative total that will set the playoffs. So that's where we're at. And joining me on the line right now, he had week high this week. It's Eric McCullum. Eric, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good.
Welcome to the show. It's your first time on the show, I believe. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Excellent.
I think I've been listening for, I don't know, probably 5-6 years.
Probably. Well, this
something like that.
6th year of the show, so that's awesome, man.
Okay, so I would say 5 years at least.
Very cool. Very cool. Happy to have them long-time first-timers, as they say on the radio world of things. So welcome to the show. What did you think of Talladega this weekend, man?
That was pretty crazy. I said I wasn't able to watch a lot of it because we're having air conditioner issues and we had people over. But what I did watch was very interesting. So,
for me, I'm not the biggest super speedway fan, but when you can have the outcome like we did on Sunday versus the outcome we had on Saturday of, I don't want 3 overtime starts because, 30 cars are involved in 3 different wrecks. If they're going to wreck on the last lap because they're going for it, so be it, so I don't mind 15 laps,
Oh yeah.
Like we got on Sunday. I'll take that all day at a super speedway race. So that'll work for me. Well, man, when I was putting the fantasy segment here together, I knew it was going to be bad for me, and I just keep saying to myself, how worse can it get? But then, not to make too much fun, I looked and you're lower in the standings than I am, which
yeah, I said I'm not very good at it at all. I kind of go by the week before and kind of pick who's like top 10.
Yeah,
there's no rhyme or reason. I just guess and.
Well, I actually
said maybe one day I'll be like top 10. But that's it.
Well, hey, like I said a minute ago, segment 1 is going to close here in a few weeks, and maybe you'll get a lucky streak going for segment 2. And
yeah, I'm way back there. I think I looked today as like 75th, so there's no coming back from there.
Well, here's the thing, though: if you win segment 2, you're an automatic lock for the playoffs. So
that's true.
There's
a chance.
You got a chance. You got a chance. I had Keselowski and Hill this week that got me a whopping 38 points, and I'm back at 40th. But man, yeah, nice pick this week with Busch and Gregson for 83. Got a couple bonus points as well with that. So yeah, man, set your sights on segment 2, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to run through our standings here. Top 10 right now. In first place with 935 is Justin Hughes. In second with 930 is Kristen Haugland. In third with 899 is Michael Mason. In fourth with 884 is Tony Salt. In fifth with 882 is Brad Carnes. In sixth with 877 is Alan Cavana. In seventh with 874 is Jason Dickus. In eighth with 867 is John Warrington. In ninth with 847 is John James. And wrapping out our top 10 right now with 846 points is Kevin Hahn. And then our bonus points, Jason and Kristen both have 7. Scott has 6. Eric, you got 5 bonus points, man. Yeah, you need to make the playoffs, man. You're up there with that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Kevin's got 5. Kim's got 5. Tony's got 5, and we got a bunch of people with 4 and on down. So that's where we're at there. All right, man. You ready to do some picks?
Think so.
All right, Lap Traffic Fantasy players. We are headed to the Monster Mile with just 3 races to go. The manufacturers have all gotten a little piece of the pie over the last 10 races, each picking up some wins. The only repeat winner in the last 10 races at Dover is Kevin Harvick, who we all know is searching for his first win and who's been winless now for 53 races dating back to Bristol 2020 when he picked up 9 wins. William Byron's got a couple of back-to-back top 5s. If you still have him available, that might be a solid pick. And Martin Truex Jr.'s got a few wins and some top 10s as well if you've got him available. Who tames the monster? How much further do I fall? We'll find out. But right now, it is time for our picks. All right, Eric, start with you. Who are you going with for the Xfinity Series?
Let's see here. I just had this now. I think 48. The Bowman. I'm just guessing.
For Cup or for Xfinity?
For Cup, I'll do Bowman.
Okay.
48. And then I think Ty Gibbs seemed to be doing really good last week until he wrecked. So I'm going to do Ty Gibbs for Xfinity.
Sounds good. All right. I am going to go with Josh Berry in the Xfinity Series. And I do have William Byron available, so I'm going to roll with Byron for the Cup race on Sunday. So there you have
I've already used that.
Yeah, right. That's the problem. You know, you get in these leagues and, you get down to the wire with some of them. But, I saved a couple good ones here, hopefully. But we'll see how deep of a hole I'm already in. So, all right, man. Well, listen, thanks for calling in this week. I appreciate you. Best of luck, and maybe we'll talk to you again here down the road.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, man. Take care. We'll see you. All right, Lap Traffic Nation. That is going to do it for an incredible episode 277, if I do say so myself. Make sure you check out the website, thelaptrafficpodcast.com, Twitter, @LapTrafficPC. Don't forget about the giveaway. Huge thank you to Jeff Striegle and his 20th appearance on the Lab Traffic Podcast. Big thanks as well to Aaron Studwell and Eric McCullum. I'll be honest, there's a chance we may not have a show next week. Got a couple things with work that's not during work hours, so we'll see what happens there. Don't get caught chasing the lucky dog. Make sure you tune in each and every week to the Lab Traffic Podcast. See ya.